Hey, what is going on, everybody? I hope all of you guys are doing well. This is going to be a collection update video. So, I was waiting on one more package, an order that didn't ship. And when I contacted Declutter to find out what was going on with it, I guess there was an issue, and apparently they don't have it, even though it stated that they did have it. I don't know, but unfortunately, I won't be able to get the film that I wanted, so they are going to issue me a refund. It was Mad Dog Morgan. It was a Dennis Hopper Western type of film. I think it's like more like action horror, maybe. I don't know, might be just action. I don't know, but the cover looked pretty interesting when I saw Dennis Hopper was on it. I figured, why not? Sounds like something worth checking out. And it was an Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray release. But yeah, they got back with me, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But that is okay. Um, I'm actually going to just use the funds towards making a car payment. Um, it was only like $13, but since I already have funds sitting, I'm just gonna let that accumulate, and then I'm gonna make a payment on my car, get some bills, try to get some bills caught up. This will be the first of probably three videos, maybe two videos. I don't know. I am gonna test the waters on a experimental video, like that's eBay related. So keep an eye out for that. But got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys: DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4K. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I thought I had shown these in my last collection update, but apparently I didn't. If I have, I do apologize. But from what I uh, was looking when I was looking back at some videos and see when my last collection update was, it looked like the last one I did was January. It doesn't look like I did one for February. So if you guys notice I show these again, I apologize. But I had picked up like 6 DVDs or so from a buyer. He had a couple deals going on, but I think it all came out uh, to, the same, I guess. Well, no, actually, I think one of the deals he had, it was like if you had like 10 items, you would get like 75% off your entire purchase. So technically, you'd be only paying for like 2 titles and getting the rest for free, which is not bad. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And then they had another one which was like buy two get 6 free or 4 free or something like that. But nonetheless, I still managed to get a good deal on whatever deal they had. So let's get started. So the first one here is the Gene Hackman and Willem Dafoe film, Mississippi Burning. This is a really good drama. Highly recommend. It's got a great cast, a lot of recognizable faces like Brad Dourif. Um, they're two FBI. What are they? FBI, I believe, and they go to Mississippi, and there's this a lot of this stuff going on. This crime that has happened, and I believe the story takes place in like I don't know what year the story takes place in. I want to say it's like the late '60s, early '70s. Or I believe it might be around the mid to late '60s, somewhere around there. But it's a really good one. Highly recommend. Next, I picked up Blown Away with Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones. I haven't watched this one yet, but from what I've read, it looks like it's going to be a really good action drama, and the cast is fantastic. Pretty much a lot of these DVDs I haven't watched yet. I plan to. Picked up Just a Ticket. This has Andy Garcia and Andy McDowell, the two fantastic actors, and I'm looking forward to it. The plot sounds pretty interesting. Then I picked up a film that stars Mario Van Peebles, James Remar, and Ice-T. It's Guardian. It's an action, supernatural heist crime type of film. It sounds pretty interesting, so I figured why not. And it's got Ice-T in it, so I figured, check that out. Then I picked up Happy Here and Now. This is like an early 2000s, maybe it might be like 2002 or so. What's the date? Yeah, 2000. It's got a great cast. I mean, we have the likes of David Arquette, Ali Sheedy. No, let me rephrase that. David Arquette and Ali Sheedy. Um, yeah, well, it sounds pretty interesting from what I've read on the back. Um, so I am looking forward to it. I'm not sure who else is in this. Well, no, Clarence Williams III, who is well known for being in Tales from the Hood. He's in this. So yeah, another one I need to check out. And then a Casper Van Dien film I've never seen called Road Rage. Sounded pretty interesting. So I can never go wrong with Casper Van Dien. Oh, I do apologize for hitting the camera. If I'm a little unprepared in this collection update, I apologize. But yeah, I do like Casper Van Dien. I think he's a very underrated actor. I mean, by all means, he's not like a big name like a lot of these big celebrities are, but yeah, his films are cheesy B movies, but a lot of them are pretty entertaining and really good. So yeah, very happy to pick that one up. And then I have a few that I've picked up most recently. So first one is Enemy at the Gates. Never seen it. Looked pretty interesting. It's got Rachel Weisz, Bob Hoskins, Ed Harris, Jude Law, and Joseph Fiennes. A great cast like that. Why not? It's from 2001. Then I picked, was it Hoosiers? Hoosiers? Or something like that? Hoosiers? I don't know how you pronounce it. Another Gene Hackman film. It's got Barbara Hershey, Dennis Hopper in it. Figured why not. Then I picked up Rules of Engagement with Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel Jackson. It also stars Guy Pearce and that seems Ben Kingsley. So decent cast right there. Then I picked up Three Men and a Little Lady. This is the follow-up to Three Men and a Baby. And pretty much the last one. They didn't do a third one. This movie I really enjoyed. I do prefer the sequel a little bit over the first film. And I am going to revisit these films quite soon. It's been quite some time. And then I'll do some reviews. And then I picked up two Snapper case releases. I picked up Get Carter with Sylvester Stallone. Heard some great things about that one. And then I picked up Presumed Innocent, which has a great cast. You've got Raul Julia and Harrison Ford. When I saw Raul Julia was in this, I was like, you know what? I gotta check it out. Came out in 1990. So, what? A year before? No. When did the Addams Family come out? Was that 1990 or 1991? Or is it 92? I don't know. I can't remember when that first Addams Family movie came out. But I know it's got to be before that. So yeah, it's nice to see something that Raul Julia has done. Um, it's nice to be able to finally get a film that he has done compared to like Street Fighter and The Addams Family. Now we're gonna get down to the Blu-rays and 4Ks. So the first one I picked up was Frankenhooker. This is a weird movie, definitely strange in its own way. I remember watching this a few years ago. Highly recommend. It's one of those so bad it's good, and I figured why not add it to the collection. I need to replace the case though. You do get a couple features. You get an audio commentary, and then a few featurettes, which looks pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I do apologize for the glare. Then I ended up picking up the 7 release of Burial Ground. Unfortunately, there is no slipcover. I think they were advertising it as if it had a slipcover, but it didn't. Never seen it, but I wanted to give it a shot. I've been trying to check out a lot of horror films from the 80s, a lot of B horror from different directors, whether Spanish, Italian, things like that. So I am looking forward to this. It does look like it's going to be a gory type film. I'm not big into the big gore. A lot of times I do have to block it out from my vision. That's just me, but it just depends on specific scenes. I can handle it for the most part, but other times not so much. And that's due to a situation I had when I was younger watching the first Scream movie. You guys know that scene with the football, I wouldn't say football player, but he was wearing a Letterman. So my guess would be he was a football player at the beginning of the film with Drew Barrymore. And that scene, you guys will know what I'm talking about. So I remember watching it one night, got up the next morning, seemed fine, and then next thing I know, I get sick. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. And I didn't even eat anything other than dinner that night. Maybe it was dinner that kind of irritated my stomach. I don't know, but I slept great. I got up the next morning, things seemed fine, but then within a few minutes after I got up, that happened. So that kind of ruined it for me ever since. So if it's gory to an extent, I'm okay with that. But if it's like a complete gore fest, then I gotta kind of like block out certain scenes from my vision because it just sometimes I just can't handle it enough. Um, Next one here is the collector's edition of Carrie, Scream Factory. Apparently, this was new. I believe it was shrink wrapped. But one thing I have noticed with Declutter, they will sell items that are new, but they have to mark them used, which makes no sense on why they would do that. Like Three Men and a Little Lady, that was that was brand new factory sealed, but they marked it used. So I don't know why they just couldn't just sell it new. Makes no sense. Um, but yeah, Carrie's a great Stephen King adaptation. I've always liked it, and I like the fact that this came with a slip. Guys, I got this for $8.96, which is probably the cheapest I've picked up a Scream Factory title or have found a Scream Factory. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. Years ago, I had found the Blu-ray steelbooks to The Fog and Halloween 2 on Blu-ray Scream Factory at a thrift store on the military base I was working at for $1.50 a piece. Um, and I sold those because I didn't need them. But yeah, very happy with that. Show you guys. So again, apologize with the glare. I'm still trying to figure out some lighting when it comes to how I do my videos. I may keep it like this because I think that having the movies on one side and the figures on the other and collectibles I think works out. So yeah, there's Carrie. This next one here I got as a gift for a contest I won, Media Galore. He hit 500 subs and he decided to do a giveaway. It was a mystery giveaway. You get some like a couple movies, some digital copies, excuse me, and some like horror movie related stuff. I did a video on it. But one of the items I did get is Mallrats, one out of a couple movies. I'm just showing this one because the other films I actually already have, like Exorcist and The Exorcist and Walk Hard, and then Paranormal Activity, I don't really care for. I'm not big into found footage films like that. But anyway, Mallrats, such a great Kevin Smith film, one of my personal favorites. Have been wanting to eventually get this one, so to win it as a prize for the contest, I thought was fantastic. It includes a nice little book, and then you get like the blueprint of the map that Jay and Silent Bob use when I believe they're trying to get the tape that they're going to play to kind of get Ben Affleck's character in trouble. But yeah, really, really cool. 2-disc set. You get the extended cut, the TV cut, and then you get the theatrical cut, which I didn't even realize there's 3 versions of this film. I think studios need to start doing that when it comes to their physical releases. Start releasing all the different cuts because, people make comments about, oh, well, there's the David Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad, and then there's the Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. Yeah, they probably exist, but the studios are so egotistical that they don't even want to release this stuff when in fact it could potentially make them money, and people want to see better versions of what could have been, and people make comments about Zack Snyder. Oh, Zack Snyder's Batman, but I'm sorry, but Joss Whedon's Justice League was awful. Really awful. And when you watch that compared to what Zack Snyder's vision was, I'm down for Zack Snyder. He's not like my favorite director. I don't like every film he has. To me, I like 300, I like Watchmen, and I like Justice League. And Man of Steel's a decent one. It's not my personal favorite. Um, but it just, to me, it's like if there's a lot of these different versions and cuts that exist, release them. They're gonna make their money back. Um, so yeah, to me, I've always liked different releases that have so many cuts. It's kind of similar to like there was another film that got released with different cuts. I can't remember the film, but a great example would be Army of Darkness that has the multiple endings. You can get different cuts of that, or Blade Runner. That's what I was trying to use. Blade Runner has so many cuts. They released all those cuts, on Blu-ray. So maybe not individually, but they have released some of the cuts, or all the cuts in a box set at one point. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's something they should really, really consider doing. I'm gonna show those two at last. All right. So a lot of Screen Factory in this update. So the first one, well, not first one, continuing on, I picked up Super Beast. Looked pretty interesting, so I figured why not? Another Scream Factory title, kind of beef up the Scream Factory collection. And I'm not someone who likes to have every single release when it comes to Arrow or Scream Factory. I'm more into just picking up films that catch my interest or I've seen and I like. Now, Vestron, all those movies I have seen a good majority of, and some that pretty much like ones I haven't do catch my interest. So like with the Vestron, I will complete that. So situations like that is a little different. The next one here is Teen Wolf, the collector's edition. Upgraded this from the bare bones release I had. Very happy with that. Such a great movie. Um, as I stated before when I did my unboxing for this, I've noticed a lot of sellers on eBay. They are selling their. It's almost like they're selling the films they have in their box sets individually. So like the Fly box set, Friday the 13th. I'm hoping to find Critters that way. They're releasing this stuff separately. So I feel like it comes out cheaper to an extent. So my hope, or not, yeah, not hope, my goal, but I'm hoping. Man, I am off today. It's the weather. It's been raining here nonstop. Well, I think we've had a couple gaps of it stopping, and it's just cloudy today. So I think that's playing a part of me just not being able to get this video the way I want it to. But that's okay. It is what it is. But I noticed they're starting to sell the stuff separately. So my goal is to, hopefully find these releases individually rather than having the box set. So like Critters, The Omen, Friday the 13th, The Fly, the rest of them. Hopefully I can find them. And if worst case scenario, I can get a custom box set made. There is a Facebook group. There's Etsy. So it's not like I can have it, I can have the Blu-rays officially, but the box itself, excuse me, I could always get a custom one that's similar to that one, or it has different artwork. But nonetheless, I did end up finding Return of the Fly, which is a sequel. I've never seen this, so I am looking forward to it. And yeah, Return of the Fly. And then before I had picked that one up, I also had picked up The Fly itself. They did have the Scream Factory release separately, and then I found somebody who had the first and second together, but more than what I wanted to pay. This one was pretty cheap. I think it was like $7 or $8 with free shipping, so I figured why not. Love the original Fly, one of my favorite horror films, and I love the remake as well. At Walmart, I picked up Akira. They finally had this in stock. I could not tell you guys how many times I try to find this film and they never have it in stock. Finally, somebody stocked multiple copies. I snagged it. Only $12.96. It is a 3-disc set. You get the Blu-ray and 2 DVDs. I haven't seen this movie in quite some time, so I am looking forward to it. I can't remember a whole lot, but yeah, very, very happy with that. Alright, that's the end of the Blu-rays. Now we're going to get into the 4Ks. The first one being The Blob. This being the Scream Factory release and an upgrade for me. As you guys know, I started an upgrade challenge back, I want to say the middle of last year. I think it was right. I want to say it was not too long after I was put on medical leave. And the goal for the challenge was I would show you guys a set of movies that like all the Blu-rays I had or DVDs that I wanted to upgrade. And the whole way I had to do this was either I had to uh, it had to cover the whole thing, so it had to be free, meaning it had to cover shipping and the price for the item, whether it's one price with free shipping or it's one price and it has the price and then it has shipping added as well. It had to cover the whole thing. Or I had to pay very, very low out of pocket. So this would be maybe $1, $2, 30 cents, 50 cents. So it had to be very limited. If I sold something and there wasn't enough, that would go towards the item I wanted. And that eventually did end up happening. When I had to pay out of pocket, it would have probably been from an item I sold where I didn't make a whole lot. And then not too long after that, then I'd get something that would, sell. So I'd be able to cover something else for free and then have a little left over towards another title and then only have to pay very little to upgrade. So that worked. Not only did I upgrade a lot, I also was able to add films to the collection and other titles that I needed to complete, like film collections. So I'm almost done with the first round. Right now, we're looking at Hackers, People Under the Stairs, that both need to be upgraded to 4K. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin need to be upgraded to 4K. And then we're looking at Facing the Giants, which needs to be upgraded to Blu-ray. And then we're looking at the Street Fighter with Sony Chiba and Sister Street Fighter to be upgraded. And those will officially be all the titles I needed to upgrade for the first round. And then we'll be making it to round 2, which I will be doing a video showing you guys that round. Now, I'm going to try to do round 2 as well. No, let me rephrase. I forgot there are a couple other ones. I still need to not resurface. Man, I am like out of it today. I need to upgrade Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas to the Criterion release. I had the bare bones Blu-ray release. I need to upgrade that to the Criterion Blu-ray release. I need to upgrade The Jerk to the Shout Select, and I need to upgrade The Burbs to the Shout Select. So those are the other ones that need to be upgraded. So yeah, those are all the films for round 1, and then we'll move on to round 2. But yeah, The Blob was one I needed to upgrade and finally was able to, so very happy with that. And then finally, the last release I got, physical media release I got, is a 4K release. Now, when this first came out, unfortunately, I wasn't going to be able to get it. I was hoping that at the time my settlement would come in or I'd sell enough on eBay. That didn't happen, so I missed out. Now the price on that has gone up. I think we're looking at like 150 to 200. It's expensive. So when I found out they were going to re-release it with different packaging, and it's at, I would say, almost a more affordable price, I was like, okay, I can deal with that. The one thing I like about the other box set is one nice sturdy box, and you get a nice cool book. But what I like about this, even though the box itself is paper, it's not sturdy, you do get each film individually, and it also includes reversible artwork. So I ended up getting the re-release of Hellraiser, the Terrology box set. I don't know what is on here. I don't know if something was on my desk, but looks like it was on the box. But yeah, you get not all, but you get the first 4 Hellraiser films, which include Hellraiser, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and Hellraiser Bloodline. Tons of special features. I mean, tons. for each film. I'll pick a few things that kind of stand out. So, of course, we get the 4K restorations for all 4 films. Hellraiser Bloodline includes a work print version of the film. Hellraiser 3 includes an alternate unrated version, which it does contain standard definition inserts, so just be aware of that. Hellbound Hellraiser 2 has a few featurettes, some commentary, and then Hellraiser itself has a 60-minute discussion, some audio commentary. I don't know if it has that documentary that came out a few years ago, the Leviathan documentary. I don't know if that's on here. I'd have to look at the special features a little bit closely. But yeah, you do get each film in its own individual case. You can buy Hellraiser separately. That's the only one they ended up doing separately, which is kind of weird. But yeah, we got Hellraiser. And like I said, they do have their own individual not reverse. They have reversible artwork, which is the original theatrical poster. And I cannot speak. Hellbound Hellraiser 2, and I do like the artwork on these. And then we have Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, and I do like how the puzzle box kind of changes in each photo. And then we have Hellraiser Bloodline, which I do like. Part 3 is one of my all-time favorites. I remember, having the DVDs for the first 2, and then I think at one point I used to have the entire franchise, and I kind of regret, selling a lot because I wasn't aware that a lot of them would eventually go out of print and be high in value. So, yeah, you live and learn. But nonetheless, just a really cool set. They just have the 4K disc. There is no other special thing with it. It's just one disc and that's it. 4K is region free. Now, if it had a Blu-ray with it, then that would be region locked because most of the time, UK releases are region lock, unless you have a region free player. But with 4K being region free, you can pretty much import anything you want. But yeah, very happy with that. I do plan to pick up the 4K release of the Child's Play collection from Arrow. That'll be my next. And then at least with that, I'll have at least Hellraiser, Child's Play, and Phantasm all on Blu-ray, and of course the other 2 on 4K. But yeah, highly recommend if you're gonna pick up the Child's Play films on 4K, pick up the Arrow video release. Multiple reasons. Cheaper. You're gonna pay a lot cheaper than the Scream Factory releases. 2, I think the set looks a lot better, and it's in all one packaging. You don't have to pay like extra for a custom box to be made. The only downfall is that I think the documentary is on Blu-ray, so unless you got a region-free player, you won't be able to watch it because it's region locked. But the 4Ks you will. I'm thinking about getting a region-free player, a used one, and then being able to start importing. Because to be honest with you guys, I have been looking at some German media books, and those have the English audio. I've been looking at maybe the Nightmare on Elm Street ones. Yeah, some of them are pricey, but nonetheless, to get them individually on Blu-ray and some cool German releases, and I can understand and speak German just a little bit if I'm looking at the right thing to say. Can't do it off the top of my head. That's just how my brain works. But I used to live in Germany for 6 years when I was younger. So I've always been able to comprehend some of the German when it comes to like their physical media releases. Because I used to have Double Dragon, Guyver, and Fright Night all on Blu-ray German releases back in the day. But nonetheless, I don't want to make this video too long. We're already at 30 minutes. But yeah, those are all the movies I have picked up. Let me know what your thoughts are on any of these if you've seen them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. I am Film Talk with Mikey, and hopefully I won't be too off when I do my videos. Just, it's one of those days. But till next time, we'll talk films. Peace.